Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Now on News 6, a tense situation leads to an officer suddenly under fire.
I'm not sure if she shot herself or shot at me. I got hit with some sort of shrapnel from something.
New in moments, how his quick thinking kept this from turning tragic for a woman who was troubled.
In my 30 years as a firefighter, this is the most egregious thing that I've seen been reported to me.
Firefighters fired and now arrested after a hazing that even involved waterboarding. Why the 19-year-old targeted says he's not quitting the force.
Shocked. Yeah, I can't believe that happened.
A reward is out for a man who pried open mailboxes at a local post office. How you can help protect your stuff this holiday shopping season. And just in time for Thanksgiving, a big change coming to your forecast. Meteorologist Jonathan Gegas has 3 words for you: cloudy and cool. But we start now at 10 tonight with a DeLand police officer praised for doing everything right. Good evening, I'm Ginger Gadsden. Matt has the night off. The officer was checking out why someone called 911, then hung up. He was about to move in when a shot was fired. News 6's Alex Cook walks us through the body cam video that shows us how the officer's training and quick thinking prevented a tragedy.
That officer was talking to the woman through the bathroom window, trying to talk her into coming outside, when he says she pulled a gun out of her bathrobe and put it against her chin. His body cam video shows what happened next.
Ma'am. Stand if you're good, I'm gonna make entry.
Body cam shows the tense moments a DeLand police officer responded to a 911 hang-up call on Curry Rise Court. He spoke to a woman through the bathroom window and was just about to attempt to enter the home when
units get on scene, she's in the bathroom at the window just to the right of the front door. Shots fired, shots fired.
The officer pulls back and takes cover, reporting that he felt something hit his neck.
I'm not sure if she shot herself or shot at me. I got hit with some sort of shrapnel from something.
Backup arrived minutes later and eventually talked the woman into surrendering peacefully. No one was hurt, and Deputy Chief Adam Kisthart chalks it up to the officer's training and quick thinking.
He handled it perfectly. He capitalized upon his training and did everything right. He kept himself safe. He tried to maximize the safety for this woman too, while he investigated again, found out what was going on, what her intent was. But she was brandishing a weapon in his presence, and it really put him in a bad position.
When someone calls 911 and hangs up, it can be hard for officers to figure out what's going on.
It could be anything. It could be a domestic violence call. It could be, can be very dangerous for officers. It could be a mental health crisis. It could be, there was a home invasion robbery. It could be any of many things.
The woman faced a judge Wednesday, her family speaking on her behalf, saying she's depressed and needs help. She told the judge she would never hurt an officer and has never before fired a gun. She faces charges of aggravated assault, reckless discharge of a firearm, and resisting arrest. In DeLand, Alex Cook, News 6.
Our other top story now at 10, whether you're braving the airport, hitting the road, or just staying home, big changes are coming for your Thanksgiving forecast. Let's get right over to meteorologist Jonathan Gegas, who has all the details. Jonathan.
Yeah, Ginger, the front knocking on our door right now. It's still nice and mild in Central Florida, and it's going to stay that way by the time you wake up tomorrow morning as well. But you see what's going on in Pensacola. The front has now crossed state lines, and it has dropped to the upper 50s. Compare that to 72 in Jacksonville, 71 in Orlando. There's kind of the core of that chilly air back to Nashville, where it is in the lower 40s. That will gradually work its way south, really arriving here through the late tomorrow morning into the early afternoon and continuing to plunge down the Florida Peninsula by the time you wake up on Friday morning. There is the front itself, again, getting closer. The other deal is you see all the white on your screen there. That's the cloud cover that's going to stretch in tomorrow. So it is going to be on the grayer side, especially when compared to where we've been over the past week or so. That is Friday morning. That's what you wake up to behind the front. We'll talk about how we get there and take you hour by hour on your Thanksgiving day coming up at about 10:19, Ginger.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. New at 10 tonight, just ahead of the holiday shopping season, the feds are offering a $100,000 reward, trying to put a post office package thief behind bars. And this guy was being bold, too. Surveillance images captured him smashing his way into packaged mailboxes. And take a good look. He's not even wearing a mask. It happened around this time of night, overnight last Friday at the Ventura Post Office. That's on Curry Ford Road at Goldenrod. Your Orange County community correspondent Tylisa Hampton spoke with people dropping off their mail there today.
Could you imagine? It's around the holidays. You're waiting on a package. You never get it. Well, at this post office, you can see this right here where they say they are conducting a criminal investigation after a man came in. He pried open multiple boxes and stole mail. I spoke with people here. They say they're very concerned.
As people go in and out of the post office, they're met with this, a criminal investigation notice.
Shocked. Yeah. I can't believe that happened.
Just after midnight on November 21st, a man was caught on camera breaking into the Ventura Post Office. That's in a shopping center on Curry Ford Road in Orlando. He's seen prying open parcel lockers and stealing what he could.
I just hope he doesn't do it again because, I mean, if it's as easy as just using a crowbar to just open up those doors, I mean, he could open up the actual door to get into the back.
Finding the man responsible a priority.
It was enough, to alarm us and create the reward.
U.S. Postal Inspector Rick Johnston would not say what was taken, but that the $100,000 reward fits the crime.
The Postal Service takes mail theft very seriously, so that is an amount that we will pay, the Postal Service will pay for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of anybody, suspected of mail theft.
Notices also announced new lobby hours to keep mail safe. For daily customers, the theft has them thinking about what could happen.
It didn't affect y'all's business, but it could potentially if he keeps on doing it.
It could. If he doesn't get caught and he tries to do it again.
With holiday shipping underway, Johnston says this is a time mail theft ticks up.
To secure those items quickly, and if you know you're receiving mail that day, to check your mailbox every day and leave nothing to be stolen.
For other postal customers who just want to tisk the season, the theft a reminder there's always a Grinch lurking.
Desperate times, I guess. It's sad.
Now, again, that reward is $100,000, and officials say that if you have any information on who you think is responsible, to contact the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, who is working with Orlando Police Department. Reporting, I'm News 6's Tylisa Hampton.
Marion County deputies are calling it a hazing incident that went horribly wrong. A 19-year-old firefighter recruit hit with a belt and even waterboarded at the fire station. Now, 4 firefighters have been fired and arrested. News 6's Catherine Silver spoke to the sheriff and fire chief, who say this behavior didn't just cross the line, it was criminal.
It happened at this fire station in Ocala, where deputies say a 19-year-old was detailing ladders. That's when 2 firefighters and EMTs rubbed grease on his uniform. Later that day, there was a misunderstanding about a pizza being thrown away. And then there was a TikTok video on the victim's phone that the suspects apparently wanted to see. And that's just the beginning. This is Fire Station 21, where deputies in Marion County say a 19-year-old firefighter wasn't just hazed, he was battered and kidnapped.
Individuals at the firehouse wanted a video from TikTok that the victim had. It was just a dance video that the victim probably was embarrassed to give up.
Sheriff Billy Woods described in detail what happened on November 19th. What's written out in these arrest affidavits for 4 Marion County Fire Rescue employees: EMT Edward Kenny, firefighter EMT Seth Day, firefighter EMT Tate Trouthwine, and paramedic Kaylee Bradley.
They chased him down in the parking lot. Once they caught him, they removed his pants from him, took his belt, then began to strike him on the backside with that belt.
The sheriff says it escalated even more when the victim was dragged across this parking lot, where Kenny and Day allegedly held him down while Trouthwine covered his face with a towel and poured water over it. Deputies say the only reason the other EMTs let go was because a call for service came in.
A small group of employees treated the firehouse like a frat house.
Their behavior does not reflect who we are and what we stand for.
Anyone who hears this story is going to have a reaction. What was your reaction when you learned this all started over something like a TikTok video a pizza and some grease on a shirt.
In my 30 years as a firefighter, this is the most egregious thing that I've seen been reported to me. Our priority moving forward is ensuring that every member of this department works in a safe, respectful, and professional environment.
I asked the chief if the 19-year-old who's been working at the department for less than a year is still working here after having to endure all of this. The chief told me he is at his own request, and his own words were, "I have a job to do, and I need to do that job." In Marion County, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
And we're also learning that an administrative review is underway along with the ongoing criminal case aimed at making sure everyone is held accountable. There are policies in place to address hazing, which the county will review. We have new details just in from two big stories unfolding outside of our viewing area. Washington, D.C.'s mayor calls it a targeted attack. Two National Guard members ambushed near the White House. New information is coming in about the suspected shooter tonight. But first, high-rise horror in Hong Kong. Nearly 300 are still missing in the deadliest fire there in decades. Why 3 people are under arrest for manslaughter.
As Blue Origin expands its footprint on the Space Coast, there are new environmental concerns for the Indian River Lagoon. I'll explain how this involves disposing of wastewater coming up.
You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Wednesday night, covering Ponce Inlet, Sanford, and all of Central Florida. Now on News 6, 2 big stories still developing outside of Central Florida tonight. First, to Hong Kong's high-rise horror. That nation's deadliest fire in decades has now been burning for almost a full day, and it could take days to put it out. So far, at least 44 people are confirmed dead. 279 others are missing, with rescue crews still pulling out people alive from the rubble. The fire did not just consume a single building. The firefight is so big, classes are suspended at 13 nearby schools. And it's not yet clear why the fire started, but police say 3 people are under arrest, suspected of manslaughter. They did not set the fire, but are the engineers and builders who developed the complex in the 1980s. Inspectors say it is clear the buildings were not built to code with proper fireproofing. After the fire sparked, it quickly spread to 7 out of 8 high-rise buildings and an enormous apartment complex. As new images and details come in about this story, we'll keep posting them on clickorlando.com. Just look under the news tab. And one of tonight's most clicked on stories, people seeking answers after 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard were shot in the nation's capital today. The latest word, the suspected shooter is 29 years old and from Afghanistan. The chaos unfolded this afternoon near the Farragut Metro stop, a subway station that's just a few blocks from the White House. CBS's Erica Brown is in D.C.
The ambush-style attack happened shortly after 2 p.m. in downtown Washington, D.C., just blocks from the White House and the National Mall. 2 National Guardsmen, both from West Virginia, were shot by a gunman believed to be acting alone.
The suspect came around the corner, raised his arm with a firearm, and discharged it at the National Guard members.
One individual who appeared to target these guardsmen, that individual has been taken into custody.
Multiple law enforcement officials tell CBS News the suspect in the shooting is a 29-year-old Afghan national who is believed to have entered the U.S. in 2021. Witnesses describe the chaos of the scene.
They had one person pinned down and yelling at him to stay down, and then there were 2 National Guards on the ground. One, it looked like they were trying to resuscitate.
National Guard troops were deployed to Washington in August as part of President Trump's crackdown on crime in the nation's capital, and the 2 National Guardsmen were among the more than 2,000 serving in Washington. In the wake of the shooting, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said hundreds more National Guard troops will be deployed to the nation's capital.
We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities.
FBI Director Kash Patel said the shooting was a matter of national security and will be working with interagency partners in the investigation. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Well, we see launches like this one on the coast all the time right now. One of the major spaceflight companies is asking for a new permit to get rid of wastewater from rocket testing, cleaning, and cooling. The controversy? Thousands of gallons of industrial waste would wind up in the Indian River Lagoon. Your Cape Canaveral community correspondent James Barbero is asking the military about your concerns.
The atmosphere this month was like a party when the New Glenn rocket launched for just the 2nd time. But as Blue Origin expands its footprint on the Space Coast, there are new environmental concerns for the Indian River Lagoon. Florida's DEP is preparing to allow the company to discharge thousands of gallons of wastewater every day. Blue Origin says it will do so responsibly and says the permit from the DEP is just renewing an existing agreement. But look what some locals are writing on this petition. This is insane. They don't care about wildlife, not to mention what these chemicals do to us as far as drinking water and daily use. And meanwhile, Brevard County wants to continue asking taxpayers to clean up the Indian River Lagoon. I reported last week how the county commissioners could add a new 10-year lagoon tax to your ballot next election day. Then on Friday, I talked to Colonel Brian Chapman after the Space Force celebrated Florida's 100th launch of the year.
When we look at the future, 300 to 350-ish launches.
By 2035, the colonel says there could be a launch almost every day. How do you balance that many launches with concerns that the public may have related to infrastructure, related to environmental concerns?
James, appreciate the question. By law, we have various procedures that we work through, things like environmental impact studies. On top of that, public awareness, bringing that into opportunities like this to tell that story out to the local community of how awesome the Space Coast is and how pertinent this capability is to national security.
If you'd like to read the full draft permit about Blue Origin's wastewater disposal, and if you'd like to request a public hearing about it, which could influence the agreement, I'll add the full details on clickorlando.com. I'll also add Blue Origin's full statement to our website when we hear back from them. In Brevard County, I'm your Cape Canaveral community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
All right, of course, we love seeing the launches, but we want to protect the wildlife in that precious Indian River Lagoon. All right, time now to look at our forecast with meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. Jonathan, if only there was some indication there was a change coming to our area, if only we could track it on a map.
Yeah, if only. Hey, got that for you right here. Here is our surface map, and it shows the position of the cold front. It's right about to Jacksonville, and you see the clouds. That's the white right throughout most of the Gulf right now. working in towards the Big Bend. Those are the clouds that you're going to wake up to tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow it is still going to be mild. It's once we get to Friday morning, that's where it's going to be cold. And then during the day tomorrow, that's when that chilly air kind of trickles in. So our high temperatures happening late in the morning, and then we'll kind of hold steady in the 60s for most of your Thanksgiving day. There is the front as we move through the rest of today and once we move into tomorrow. So here's 9 o'clock tomorrow. All that white on your screen that was in the Gulf, it's back over the Florida Peninsula by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning now. I think we wake up to that overcast sky. There's lunchtime, noon, and you see mainly south and east of I-4, a couple of downpours will be possible. That's when the cold front itself is exiting central Florida to allow that drier and certainly colder air to blast right on down the Florida Peninsula as we clear things out late tomorrow night into early Friday. There's 11 o'clock on your Friday morning. Sunshine is dominant. It's just going to be deceptive. It is going to be quite chilly. In terms of your hour-by-hour forecast for Thanksgiving, again, we're starting things off warm. Slight opportunity for a few passing showers in the morning. Most are dry. Notice the temperatures don't move at all by between 6 and 9. We'll top out in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees by 2 o'clock. And then there you go, by 6, we will start to fall into the lower 60s. Some of us already in the 50s as skies will begin to clear. Here's a live look. Port Canaveral, Brevard County air temperatures right now nice and mild. It's comfortable out there with our Launch Credit Union camera this evening. We're back to the low 70s at the port. Groveland, good evening. We are at 70. Wildwood, we are at 64 degrees. Again, tomorrow morning, starting things off mild, low to mid 60s coming our way tomorrow. Again, that's the start. The issue is with the clouds and with the wind shift out of the north, it's going to not allow us to warm things up at all, as most of us will be topping out again into the upper 60s to around 70. Then the real chill settles in. This is now Friday morning. You see it right there. Most of us will be into the 40s. This little round of cold, though, it is not going to last long. It will be festive if you're planning on decorating outside on Friday. 62 degrees is going to be your high. Sunshine will be dominant, so it's going to be gorgeous. Lower 70s on Saturday, just a stray opportunity for a shower or shower going through Sunday, Monday into Tuesday. But you see right there, the temperatures do warm back into the lower 80s. So we thaw out of this one really quick, Ginger.
Looking good, Jonathan. Thank you. Well, you don't have to go too far to enjoy award-winning food right here in Central Florida. Next at 10, Matt Austin checks out a Michelin star restaurant in Winter Park where the smaller portions pack a big taste.
There's so much going on in my mouth right now. This week on the I-4 Food Tour, we're checking out our first Michelin star restaurant, brand new place called Omo by John.
But first, a shout out to our sponsor, Giant Recreation World. Thanks for making I-4 Food Tour possible. What is a $200 a person Michelin star dining experience like? Well, we're going to show you. This is Omo by John, and your experience begins with champagne and snacks.
Chef?
All right, so.
What is this beautiful action going on in front of me right now?
So first and foremost here, we have a bao bun. It's filled with a little bit of braised pork trotter, as well as hanadako shiitake mushrooms.
Hold on, you said pork trotter?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, it's pig feet braised.
That's silly good. That's really, it's warm to the touch, it's soft, and it's so meaty and savory. Hope you got your shots, because that's gone, friends.
Next up is our take on a takoyaki. It's actually a vegetarian version, so it's filled with beer cheese and smoked daikon radish.
There's so much going on in my mouth right now. Which sounds terrible, but it's a good thing. Soft, and the beer cheese just goes everywhere. Oh, that's fantastic. All right.
Crustade with Wagyu beef tartare, tosazu jelly, which is essentially a rice vinegar and dashi gel, and ganpei seaweed.
Okay. All right, down the hatch. That one was very layered. Like I taste one thing, and then another thing hits. That's good. That's a lot to dissect. And difficult to explain. I have a hard job today. And this thing looks like a party here.
Essentially, it's a crispy shell made with rice flour that will be fried and then shaped. Resting inside of that is a bit of kanpachi, which has been diced, topped with basil and zucchini puree.
What are these little curly things? Do you make those?
Fresno chili peppers. Can't buy this.
Okay. That was very sophisticated. And I'm so unsophisticated that I can't identify all the deliciousness that's going on in there.
Just gotta enjoy it.
I just want to have fun. That was good. That was amazing. That's just the start.
Sponsored by Giant Recreation World. Visit Giant Recreation World today.
Thank you so much for joining us. You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus. It's free to download on your smart TV or streaming device. We'll see you at 11.